Wow. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Super Jesus Jackson video. This time we're talking about Michael Jackson and Kurt Cobain. Now, you might be like, how are you going to talk about these two artists? Well, specifically, Michael Jackson has a little song called Billie Jean, which you might have heard, at some point in your life. It's the greatest pop song in the history of the world. And then there is Kurt Cobain, who also you might have heard of a little song called Smells Like Teen Spirit from his band Nirvana. Another iconic song, probably the most iconic rock song of all time. I think you can make the case. So pop, rock, right? Even though Smells Like Teen Spirit is kind of popish, and Billie Jean is kind of rockish, actually. But we're not going to get into that. But these two songs, right? What do they have in common? Well, I don't know. They probably have a lot of stuff in common. But what I do know is that if you combine those two songs together, you get something very interesting. On YouTube, there is a channel titled, let me see if I can find it, Nil Cicierega. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. But this individual, he's got 285,000 subscribers. I think he's like a DJ or a composer. Maybe he's an original artist. But this specific album is called Mouth Sounds. There's a song called Bills Like Jean Spirit. And it's basically a mashup of Smells Like Teen Spirit and Billie Jean. And I heard this a long time ago. In fact, there's even a video of Bruno Mars. That's right, the pop singer Bruno Mars performing a mashup of Smells Like Teen Spirit and Billie Jean. So this is not anything new per se. I'm not sure if this guy Neil created this mashup before Bruno Mars performed it or whatever. But I mean, I'm sure that he's not the first person to ever come up with something like this. I'm sure at some point someone in the world was like, hey, I'm sure these two songs can fit well. But maybe Neil's the first guy to ever actually do it and put it together. What I do know is that this mashup is incredibly fire, and I'd like to show it to all of you. So let's do it. Nil Cicierega, Bills Like Jean Spirit. Love it already. I love it already. It works so well, dude. Oh, I love that.
Load up our guns, bring your friends, fun to lose and to
Okay.
pretend she's overboard, self-assured.
You could tell that. Oh yeah. Wow. You can tell that this the Smells Like Teen Spirit was kind of pitched up to kind of fit perfectly with Billie Jean, because I think Billie Jean is actually the correct key, and the pitch is there and everything. It Smells Like Teen Spirit that's a little higher than the huge, I guess we could say. But it's perfect. They go perfectly well together, especially the chorus. That really hits. so fire. Wow. It's beautiful. I like how he does the little ad libs by MJ, the hey, and then he puts it with Kurt Cobain. Love it. This solo fits perfectly with the instrumental break of Billie Jean. Oh, yeah. Wow. That section right there at the very end fits so beautifully together. That fits so well with Billie Jean, man. Wow. Interesting how Neil decided to use the majority of Billie Jean for the mix as opposed to Smells Like Teen Spirit, but wow. Just keeps going. It was probably that thing where it was gonna go into another song. Wow, dude. Absolutely amazing. I saw a comment here on the YouTube video, which I'll put a link down in the description. Someone said, "A denial is the entire premise of Billie Jean, so even the lyrics fit." That's true. That is perfectly true. The lyrics, of course, of Billie Jean. Billie Jean is not my lover. That kid is not my son. That sort of thing. Billie Jean has always been sort of... I've talked about this before on the channel, but it's a song that it's a masterpiece, obviously, from an instrumental standpoint. But when you look at it lyrically, it makes the music even better because the song is incredibly depressing. Because it could be very much a person that is in denial, that knows that they are the father of that kid, but they just don't want to admit it, that they made a mistake. They don't want to admit it. They don't want to have to deal with it, right? There is that. Or it could also be the fact that maybe it is true. Maybe they are not the father and they totally are being like, dude, I am totally not the father. But either way, it's a depressing situation because... at least in the context of Michael's life, right? Like people could just say, hey, you're the father of my kid, and he's always going to look bad, regardless of what's true or what's not, but even in a normal human standpoint, right? To be framed as the father of a kid and then the fact that you're sort of fleeing from the situation when you know that you're not the father and you didn't have relations with that woman and that sort of thing, like it could be a very, very traumatic and chaotic time for someone. And so it's a very depressing thing, regardless of whether it's true or not. But that ambiguity makes the song much more impactful and it makes it more relatable, right? Because anybody could listen to it and be like, wow, I really sympathize, right? But that depressing nature of the song makes the instrumentation of the song much more interesting and fascinating because it's so groovy, it's so badass. You listen to it, you just want to dance. You're like, this is amazing. You know, it's like, is this song like, is it a feel good song? You know, but then you really pay attention to it, and it's rather depressing, and it has this weird thing where it's just, again, it's so groovy, so poppy. But the lyrics and the mood and the themes of the song, and even though the instrumentation is very groovy, it still has this melancholic nature to it, you know, with the strings, and it's just a melody, right? So it's a very fascinating song on that standpoint. And then you look over to Smells Like Teen Spirit, which is like an anthem of, you know, rebellion and grunge and stuff like that. But it has its own pop aspect to it, you know, from a certain standpoint. You know, the vocals are dubbed, they're layered, the production is very silky smooth, shiny, you know, thanks to Butch Vig and everything, the producer behind Nevermind. But that song is still, as poppy as it is and as popular as it is very, very angsty, and there's a melancholic nature to that song. And there's a reason why both Billie Jean and Smells Like Teen Spirit have covers of people have covered those songs, and they're incredibly depressing versions of those songs. You know, when you think of Chris Cornell's cover of Billie Jean.
She was more like a beauty queen from a movie screen.
You know, or when you think of, I don't know, I'm sure there's a very popular Smells Like Teen Spirit cover that's depressing.
With the lights on, it's less dangerous.
These songs are so amazing because of their ability to be both, to be two things, to be both groovy and poppy and depressing, you know? And that is really, that's really masterful stuff, man, you know? And the best music has that type of duality to it, you know? The most interesting music, that is, right? You know? I think this mashup is very, very well, it's not only musically does it make sense, but even thematically, when you look at both songs and what they represent, what they mean, their themes and everything, it also, both of them could mend well together because they're very consistent, you know? They're kind of the same. They're kind of, you know, on two ends of the spectrum in a way musically, but also not, you know? So they're very alike in that way. Yeah, there's a couple of other... Is this guy Shrek? Oh, everything with Neil goes back to Shrek in some way. Oh, is that the thing here? Oh my God, his glasses have Shrek on them. I didn't even notice that. I wonder what that has to do with it, huh? This goes so well though. Like the raw, loose style of Kurt's vocals with the precise, heavily orchestrated Jackson beat is just Mamma Mia pizzeria. POV, you're at Coachella 2025 and they accidentally turned the Nirvana hologram and the Michael Jackson one at the same time. Oh my God. This song is crazy because it makes me think about Kurt Cobain walking around the city from the Billie Jean music video while MJ performs at the high school pep rally from the Smells Like Teen Spirit music video. Now that would be a job for someone to meld the two together there in that respect. Not gonna lie, the two guitar solos from these two songs sound godly together. Dude. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, that section is incredible. The chorus hits so well. Love it. Love the loop there of the riff. Oh. Wow. Just amazing. But there we have it, everyone. Those are my thoughts on Neil Cicierega. Bills Like Teen Spirit, a mashup of Billie Jean and Smells Like Teen Spirit. Incredible, genius mashup, really. And if you have time, check out Bruno Mars doing this mashup as well, live at some performance he did a long time ago. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you dig this mashup? Do you think it fits well? Are you a fan of both Nirvana and Michael Jackson? As you can see, I certainly am. It's kind of the glare is kind of messing with it, but I got Kurt Cobain right there, and I got MJ there, of course. Michael Jackson to me is my favorite artist, of all time, really. Pop is my favorite music genre. However, when I discovered Nirvana and Kurt Cobain, I just discovered a part of my brain that just like I didn't know could ever exist. Like growing up loving Michael Jackson, I was like, rock, Nirvana, what? Never. That could never be a thing, And even things like Tool and metal and stuff like that, like I really enjoy. I'm not unique. A lot of people have eclectic music tastes, but the way that I feel so strongly about Kurt Cobain and Michael Jackson as people, to me, even when you look at them, I thought they were anomalies in the music industry and in culture. And I really love that about them, is that they were unabashedly themselves, and they inspired so many people, through who just they were, and obviously through their music. So I see Michael Jackson and Kurt Cobain, they have a lot of similarities. I think Michael was a very lonely person, he was a very idealistic person, and so was Kurt Cobain. In his own way. Obviously, they were both incredibly famous, and incredibly tragic, their lives as well. So yeah, I love them both. They're pretty much they're up there in terms of my idols for sure. But let me know what you think about Kurt Cobain and Michael Jackson. Whatever. Let me know what you think about this mashup. Does it make you dance? Give this video a like if you like. Dislike it if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content. You want to see more stuff like this? What's another mashup that you know of that you would like me to check out next? Share this video with your Kurt Cobain and Michael Jackson loving friends if you will. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you, you beautiful creature. But I think that's it for me. You all take care, stay safe, and until next time, I love you.